Imagine a world where the lungs of our planet are being slowly choked to death, where ancient forests are bulldozed to make way for greed. This was the world of Chico Mendes, a man who became the voice of the Amazon rainforest, a voice so powerful that it shook the world. But his story is one of both inspiration and tragedy. This is the story of a man who stood up against insurmountable odds and paid the ultimate price for his courage. Chico Mendes was born in 1944 in a small, remote village in the state of Acre, Brazil. His family were rubber tappers, extracting latex from the towering rubber trees that stood like guardians of the forest. From the very beginning, Chico was deeply connected to the land. The forest wasn't just his home, it was his life, his livelihood, and his sanctuary. But as Chico grew, so did the threats to his beloved forest. In the 1970s, the Brazilian government began pushing for the development of the Amazon. Cattle ranchers, loggers, and large corporations descended upon the forest with bulldozers and chainsaws, cutting away at the very heart of the jungle. What was once a thriving ecosystem began to disappear, replaced by barren land and desolation. Chico knew he couldn't stand by and watch his world be destroyed. He began to organize the rubber tappers and indigenous communities, people who had lived in harmony with the forest for generations. They held meetings in secret, deep in the forest, planning their resistance. Chico's voice echoed through the trees as he spoke of the need to protect their home, not just for themselves, but for the entire planet. One of Chico's most ingenious tactics was the empate, a peaceful protest where men, women, and children would form human chains, standing in the path of the bulldozers. These empates were powerful, but they were also dangerous. The tension between the rubber tappers and the ranchers grew with each confrontation. And in the midst of it all, Chico became the undeniable leader of this movement. Chico's fight for the Amazon soon gained international attention. He traveled the world, meeting with environmentalists, politicians, and activists, spreading his message far beyond the borders of Brazil. The world began to listen. The Amazon was no longer just a Brazilian issue, it was a global concern. But with every speech he gave, with every acre of land he helped to protect, Chico made more enemies at home. The powerful ranchers and landowners in Acre saw Chico as a threat to their profits. They branded him a troublemaker, a man who stood in the way of progress. But Chico wasn't afraid. He knew what was at stake, both for his people and for the planet. It was a quiet evening when the darkness of greed finally caught up with Chico Mendes. On December 22, 1988, as he prepared to celebrate Christmas with his family, Chico was gunned down outside his home. The bullets that took his life were fired by those who feared him, but they also echoed around the world, sparking outrage and sorrow. The world mourned the loss of Chico Mendes, but his death was not in vain. His assassination brought international attention to the Amazon's plight like never before. Governments, organizations, and activists rallied to continue his fight. In the years that followed, extractive reserves, one of Chico's key proposals, were established, protecting millions of hectares of the Amazon rainforest. Chico Mendes may be gone, but his spirit lives on in the trees, rivers, and the very air we breathe. His legacy is a reminder of what one person can achieve when they stand up for what's right, even in the face of unimaginable danger. The Amazon still faces threats today, but the fight continues, fueled by the memory of a man who gave his life to protect it. Chico Mendes' story is a testament to the power of courage and conviction. It's a story that must be told and retold, for the Amazon, for nature, and for all of us. Thank you for watching. If you believe in the cause Chico Mendes gave his life for, share this video, and let's continue his fight to protect our planet.